Hello, welcome back to the Darkville Brewing channel. This is part 2 of the Mangrove Jacks Kviek IPA brew that I did a couple of months back. So this is just an update, a review of the beer in the can, and I've got something a little bit different as well, so hope you enjoy it. Okay, so as I said, this is part 2 of the Mangrove Jacks Kviek IPA video. So it's all, well, it's fully fermented pretty quick, to be fair. That was ridiculously fast. Most brews that I've done, fermentation will start within about 24 hours of adding the yeast, and obviously the temperature being at the right level. The Kviek IPA started fermenting in less than 6 hours. In less than 6 hours, there was a krausen forming on top of the wort. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm so glad I did not use 2 packets, the 2 packets that they sent of the Kviek IPA yeast, because there would have been a sticky mess on the floor, and I would have been in a lot of trouble. And probably cleaning up for quite a few days as well. But it's done, it's fully fermented. As you saw in the previous video, I put most of it into kegs, I put the rest of it into bottles. Bottles are gone, I don't know whether they've gone off to various people who have enjoyed them, I'm led to believe. So today is all about what's it like in the keg. Don't know how you guys find it, but I always find a brew that I've done and I bottled in kegs, I've always found the kegged version a lot smoother, a lot better, and easier to drink. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it's like. What else can I tell you about it? No, that's pretty much it. So yeah, today's a tasting video. I'm not a beer reviewer, okay? I'm not very good at giving you smells and describing the smells and describing the tastes. Some of the guys out there are absolutely phenomenal at doing that. I'm crap basically, but if I like it, I like it. If it's not very good, then I'll say it's not very good, and I'll try my best to give you some idea of how it tastes. But I'm biased as well. You could taste like dishwater and probably think it's still alright. But hey, there we go. Okay, so let's get on to the tasting side of things then. As you all know, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm a big lover of obviously reusing the 5 litre kegs. They're so versatile. You could buy them from the shop, you know, a shipyard ale or a hobgoblin beer or whatever. Once you finish the beer inside, you can take the charging tap or the red and black tap off the top. You can get rid of that, give it a good clean out with some good sanitizer, sterilizer, cleaner, whatever, and then you can reuse it for your own beers using the brew firm tap. I've raved about it on so many different videos, it's unreal. I probably could go on and be saying it now, but this thing is an absolute delight. Taking your own home brewed beers to a campsite or to a friend's house, after barbecue, and you're using this thing, it's just the best. It really is. Any gas in it? Shouldn't do that. Oh, there was gas in it. There's no gas no more. Yeah, that's basically all these guys are run off. CO, if I can get it off. CO2 cartridges that fit into the back. And 16 gram CO2 cartridge, that's all you need. These guys are pretty cheap as well. For 16 grams, you can get a box of 10 16 gram cartridges for 10 quid, and that's including postage. And let's be honest, the way the cost of living is going at the moment, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people started doing home brewing, because the Mangrove Jacks, I put the link to the kit in the last video, but that kit was something like, I don't know, 20 odd quid. Plus all the makings. What you're talking £6, £5 or £6 for a bag of sugar, brewing sugar, good quality brewing sugar. 10 quid for some CO2 cartridges. You know, it's a lot cheaper to make your own beer at home, I think, at the minute. I think people start doing extract brewing is brilliant. I'll never be an all grain brewer. I don't have the time, I don't have the space. I can't spend 6 hours a day on, just doing a brewer. What the difference is, I don't know. I suppose going through the motions of making your all grain and then seeing the finished product, I bet it's amazing. But stuff it. Let's do it quick and easy. Let's get a nice premium kit. Add the water, add the sugar, let it ferment for 7 days, 7 to 14 days, put it into kegs, put it into bottles, and enjoy it. It is easy, so I massive respect to all grain brewers, but extract brewing is fantastic. It's quick, it's easy, and I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube lately where you've got all grain brewers that are doing more of the premium kits, such as Mangrove Jacks or Muntons, or some of the other premium brew kit producers, and they find it quite difficult to tell the difference between like an all grain beer and a premium kit beer. The quality of products and the quality of ingredients got so much better. It's come such a long way since your granddad or your dad used to brew the old ale and covered ale, and it used to taste like a rugby player's armpit. It's just fantastic. So anyway, I'll stop waffling, let's get on with it. So I'm a massive lover of this tap, and I'm never going to get rid of it. I'm always going to keep it around. I'm always going to use this because it's always useful, and it's always puts a smile on my face. Always puts a smile on my face. So now you're asking, why am I talking about it like I'm never going to use it again, or as if something different has come along? Well, something different has come along. Don't judge me, but I'm going to tell you all about it now.
Do you want to know what it is? Do it!
Okay, so what have I got to show you? Well, basically, ladies and gents and fellow brewers, I've got into the world of the home draft machine. The beer machine, I don't know if you can see because I can't see the camera. The beer machine, so a home draft machine basically. Yeah, it's a 5 litre beer keg dispenser, 5 litre beer keg dispenser from Brew Monster. I'll point out this moment in time, I'm not sponsored, affiliated, or have any connection at all with Beer Monster. It's just simple. I've done some research on some beer machines and I found this one to suit my needs. Why have I chosen this one in particular? It's quite simple. I use 5 litre kegs, as you know, and the Beer Monster machine is a very versatile 5 litre keg machine. It takes any type of 5 litre keg. So doing my research, I looked at a few machines, and the 3 main machines tend to be the Blade, the Philips Perfect Draft, and then the Krups Compact. So your more expensive one of the line is the Blade, which looks like something out of Lost in Space, Will Robinson, blah blah blah. It's a very, very good looking machine. It looks very steampunkish as well, with the sort of the manual dials, if you like. Beautiful looking thing, but it costs around 450 quid, which is quite expensive, depending on where your price margin is or how much you want to spend on these machines. It uses pre-charged 8 litre kegs as well, which is around about 8 litres, I think it's about 16 pints, 14 to 16 pints, I think, or 14, my maths isn't great, but kegs, I'm not sure how much the kegs are, but 8 litres, and basically you stick it in, put the dome on the top, and then there's a compressor inside which chills the beer, and happy days, fill beer all day long. The most popular one of these machines seems to be the Philips Perfect Draft. Now I know a few people have got these. My brother's got one. The friends I know have got them, and they look lovely. They look, they look really sleek, well designed. They use a 6 litre kegs, which is around 10 pints. Same sort of thing. They got a huge plethora of different beer brands. I think they're all owned by Heineken. So whatever beer company or whatever beer brand is owned by Heineken, that's the type of beer you'll get. But I know they do Stella Unfiltered. I think they even do some Tiny Rebel stuff as well. So it's a very good looking machine. There's a load of different beer choices you can have with it. And I think it's around 200 to 250, I think they are roughly. I think they've come down again, the price as well. The kegs, 6 litres, they're easily accessible, you can get them anywhere. They're around about £30. And I think you get a bit of discount when you return the keg. So when you take a draft keg back to the store where you got it from, I think you get like 5% off the next one you buy, something like that. And then the lower one is the Krups. Now the Krups Compact is the smallest one of the bunch. It's a 2 litre keg, or 2 litre torp, thinking torps. So 2 litre torp, which I think is loaded from the top. And that comes in around about 120 to 130 pound, I think it is. But the one thing these machines all have in common is that they're all self-charged kegs. All the kegs you put in there are self-charged. So you put them in, plug it in, and you're good to go. Okay, you don't have to worry about gassing them or CO2 in them or anything. And obviously they all chill the beer as well. So they are really good, really, really, really good. I'm going to introduce you to it now. So this, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there. This is the Beer Monster machine. Okay. Now this machine is a bit of a hybrid in that it uses both CO2 and pre-charged, which I didn't know. I thought it was just a CO2 machine. You can see, I don't know if you can see inside there, in the lid here is your CO2 vessel, or your CO2 cartridge holder. So your CO2 line just goes in there, and you do that back there. But I'll show you this properly when I actually put a keg in here. I'm just giving you a sort of whistle-stop tour of the device at the minute. So there's your gas line, and there's your beer line there. And basically, as you can see, there's a big void in there, and just inside you can't see, but just down the bottom there's a fill line, or there's a white line, which basically, sorry, I don't want to get that back. But basically, you fill water up to that line. I think it's half a litre. I think it's half a litre in there. Yeah, roughly half a litre. And the idea is when you lower your keg inside, the water then goes up the side of the keg. You switch on the compressor using the little switch there. Here's the compressor, and then here we have a handy temperature gauge. So you can put this down to as low as as low as 2 degrees and as warm as you like. I normally have it around about 5 or 6 degrees. So basically that's what this machine is. So it'll fit any 5 litre keg. Now give me 2 seconds and I'll come back with some toys that came with it. So talk amongst yourselves, I'll be back.
A few moments later. Okay,
I'm back. So that's it, toys. Yeah, so basically this machine comes with a multitude of attachments, because like I said, it's a hybrid machine, okay? So you get the best of both worlds with this. So you can go to your corner shop, you can pick up a keg of Shipyard Ale or Hobgoblin or whatever else, which will come in a keg like this. This is a standard 5 litre keg, but this is a specific home brew, and as you'll notice, as there's no taps on the bottom of it, but on a conventional shopboard keg you will have a tap on it. So all you need to do is you need to remove the air inlet, so the black and red seal at the top, get rid of that, and you're left with that, just a hole in the top there. And then you use one of these little doohickeys, which I've showed you before. You press that in there, and it fits in flush, so you push it all the way in so it locks on. Seal is created, I showed you this earlier on. And that's it, your beer is sealed. And then you use, where's the little attachments? Many attachments. That's the one. And then you use this. So this is the tap, if you like. This will basically sit in there, just like that. Okay, now you can see it there, so it'll sit in there just like that. Then you put your beer line in there, your CO2 line in there, that goes down into the beer, and that is it. So that is how your beer is served. So gas goes in, pressurises the keg, forces it out through the handy tap nozzle. And I'm going to try and do many things here and probably get them all wrong, but don't judge me. Don't adjust your TV screens. So it basically sits in here. Sits in there with all the gubbins, with all your gubbins on there. That's basically how it'll sit. So for me, it's ideal. Absolutely ideal, because not only not only can you enjoy a shop bought keg, not only can you then enjoy a shop bought keg and not have to worry about CO2, because if you get a pre-charged keg, then you don't need to worry about this at all. You don't need that. You just need this. That simply just locks onto the CO2 connector on the top of the keg, and that's it. You just put a beer line on there, and like a perfect draft, like a blade, like a Krups, you're simply running off the pre-charged gas that's already inside this keg. So it is absolutely fantastic and versatile. However, the best thing about this machine, which I absolutely love, is that I can now enjoy my home brewed beer, whatever I've made, from a nice draft machine, perfectly chilled, perfectly poured, and you cannot do that with a perfect draft, or a blade, or a Krups. This is why this machine, for me, is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love it. So, without further ado, I've waffled on, I've told you the pros, I've told you the cons. See that, the cons aren't even that bad. Good God. 16 gram CO2 cartridges, that's what this thing runs off. Same as my tap. I've been using CO2 ever since I brewed. When I very first started, I had a massive 40 litre pressure keg, which used 8 gram CO2 bulbs. I always used them. I've always used them. So the expense of forking out for CO2 cartridges is something I've always had, so I don't see the difference in it. And a pack of 10 threaded CO2 cartridges, plus postage and packaging, was less than a tenner. That is how cheap it is. And that will last me a keg and a half, maybe 2 kegs, depending on how gassy you want to be, because if you want to be with a bigger head, then you need more gas, and vice versa. So, keg and a half, that will last 2 kegs tops. So, it is a no-brainer, really is a no-brainer. And, as I've already said, I'm not going to get rid of this, because I still take the kegs to friends' houses and so on for like various things, so that's always good to have as a transport, so you can always still take a keg out and use the tap. This machine is simply from when I'm home, and I'm drinking it from home. Because that's the one problem, you can't always keep the beer cold. I mean, I always keep the beers in my garage, which keeps it nice, it's always nice and cold in it, so it always keeps it nice and chilled. So the one thing that prolongs the life of the beer is keeping the beer at a cool temperature, because a warm beer will just go off quicker. The same as introducing air into the beer. The beer will oxidise with the air that goes in it, and it will spoil. That's why those kegs you get from the shop, you turn the lid on, that's why you've got to drink them in 3 days, because you're putting air in there, and they get oxidised the beer. So yeah. Anyway, enough crap. What I'll do is, I'll set the machine up, I'll get some water in there, I'll show you how everything works properly, and then we'll pour a beer. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to put water inside here and get it cooled down. So what the instructions say is to put water inside and then leave it cool. I'll put the compressor on and then leave it to chill for like 8 to 12 hours. That's like a really long time. I haven't done that. I'm not going to be doing that. So what I have done which is a bit of a top tip for you, is get one of these bottles here, stick some cold water in there, stick it in the freezer for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then just use this instead of putting room temperature tap water in there and let it cool down for like 8 hours or whatever, because that will just take ages. So also pre-chill your keg as well, because anything you can do to sort of limit the work the compressor has to do, the better. So freeze a cold water in there, and then what I will do is, no, and then we won't do that. We'll get the keg ready, put the keg in, and then we'll switch it all on. I'll be back now. Okay, there's the keg. That's got the Kviek IPA inside it. There's the rubber bung, so it's not Bud Vab here, it's just a reused keg. So what we're going to do is we're now going to assemble the tap. I've already sanitized the top of that and all of this. So this has been sanitized because you want to sanitize anything that's going to get in contact with the beer, just to minimize any infections. So as I said, that goes through the middle there, and I'll give this another spray down with sanitizer as well. And literally all we're doing is just connecting them up to make that bar. There we go. So that's connected up nice. So that's now nice and tight. Just get a little bit more sanitizer just because I touched it. We're going to do it all one-handed. So we're just going to spray that down with sanitizer. That's how to spray anyway, so we're all looking good. And now comes the tricky bit, which is getting that into there. Okay, so we're ready for this now. So it's all about getting it in a position where it's going to be good. So get it in there. So place that there. And then this is always tricky because you don't want to cause any damage. There we go. So that's pierced that nicely, and then that's it. Locks onto the top of that, just like that. And now we need to get this inside the beer machine. Okay, so here we go. This was a bit fiddly, so literally we're just going to lower this gently into the machine, just like that. There we go. So the water now has come up alongside there, and it's enveloped the side of the beer keg. And then all we need to do is put our beer line in and should it a click. There we go. Put our gas line in, click. That is now all connected. So the next thing we need to do is put our gas in. Okay, so there's the gas. Take off the sheath. Threaded gas bulb, and the idea is quite literally point the thread as soon as you feel the bite. There we go, crank it on. So that's now gassed. Do the thread up and then lock that away, shut that down, make sure that's on 0. Then we just need to switch it on. Okay, so the beer's in, just reach around and there we go. So the compressor's now fired up, and let's chill it down to 7 degrees, so 6 degrees then, okay, why not. So there we go, that is it. So I don't know if you can see me, it doesn't matter if you can't. So the machine's going to run now, I'm just going to let it run for an hour or two, and then we'll pour a beer, so it's like. Now the first beer I'll pull from here will be mainly foam, because every time you pierce a new keg of homebrew, whatever homebrew it is, the first one is always full of foam. So we'll probably put a bit of glass in, disregard it, and then pour another one. But yeah, drip tray's on, designer pulling is on. That's at 9 degrees at the moment. So that's just going to cool down. Once it's cooled down to the desired temperature, so say for instance I set this for 6 degrees, once it reaches 6 degrees the compressor will shut off, and then if it starts to warm up above 6 degrees the compressor will kick back in and then chill back down. So yeah, it's good, it's handy. So yeah, we'll come back when the beer's ready.
A few moments later.
Sorry guys, I've changed my mind. I can't wait much longer. Let's get a beer in. Let's just get rid of the foamy bits first. Yeah, just done a quick pour, and it is mostly foam. So I am going to get another glass and do another pour. But I'll leave that one settled because we don't want to throw a good beer out. And just the early indications of that, it's got nice levels of carbonation. Absolutely. You've got a 25 finger head. Nice sort of clearing up the glass as well. So that's the first one. Let's get another one and see what it's like. I might even do a bit of a slow-mo pour.
So we set the machine up. You saw how we put the keg in. You saw how we put the, well, first of all, you saw how we put the spike in. You saw how we put all the tap together, put it in the keg, and then we put it inside the machine, switched the machine on. It hasn't quite gone down to 8 degrees or 7 degrees, I can't remember what I said now, but I just couldn't wait. Just needed to get a beer out and see what it was like. I did have quite a few glasses of foam. Well, certainly the first, well, they're only half-pint glasses, so certainly the first pint was a bit foamy, but there was one afterwards, after all the foam was gone. It's still a bit foamy, but what's quite nice is that's probably I pulled that about 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, and it's still got a good head on it, so it's got really, really good head retention. Don't know whether it's because I used spray malt as a priming sugar. Yeah, a priming sugar in the keg rather than normal table sugar or brewing sugar. But yeah, there we go. So as you can see, it's a nice hazy beer. It'll clear up. If it's going to clear up anymore, it'll clear up while it settles in there. You got a slightly off-white head. It was a 3-finger head. It's now down to 1 finger head. Definitely smells citra in it. Definitely hoppy. It just looks really, really smooth. And what I always like, when I know I've done a good one, is when you swing it around like that and you get all the bubbles, and then it forms your head back, and then you just get that nice little glass clearing. So true fashion is one I did earlier. So again, you can really see the nice carbonation in that silver bubble swirling around. So, two glasses. So yeah, it's nice and amber. It's nice and amber, and it just smells lovely. It really smells really nice. So I'll do the best to give you a taste of how I think it tastes, but I'm biased anyway. If it's crap, I'll say it's crap. If it's good, I'll say it's good. And if it tastes like a rugby player's armpit, I'll probably still say it's good. But here we go, guys. Yeah, that is lovely. Well, of course I'm going to say it's lovely. That is lovely. That is really nice. Nice and smooth. Nice, really nice mouthfeel as well. Refreshing. Nicely hoppy. It's quite... I thought I might have done it when I put the extra citra in. It's actually done it quite nice. It's actually just give a little bit more of an edge. Just get rid of the rest of that glass into there. Yeah, it's actually giving it yeah, it's actually giving it just a little bit more of a subtle hoppy flavour. But it's really nice aftertaste as well. It's quite earthy, quite hoppy, peppery. I don't know the words. It's an IPA from Mangrove Jacks. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's from a home draft machine as well, guys. So there's a nice incentive for you. Brew your own beer, put it into little kegs, and then buy yourself a 5-litre draft machine, and you can enjoy cold beer that you made yourself from the machine. So, on that note, no, not on that note, there'll be another beer coming soon because it's getting close to the festive season. Well, not far off the festive season. Everyone's counting it down, so I'll be doing a nice festive beer. I haven't decided which one to do yet. Mangrove Jacks, I think, have released 2. And there's another couple I've got on my eye on as well, from St. Peter's and who's the other one? It escapes me, but I'll let you know what it is when we brew it. Until then, I'm going to enjoy this, you enjoy what you're doing, and I'll catch you on the next beer. Cheers, everyone. Oh, it just gets even better. Oh, it gets even better. Right, I'm going. Take it easy.